Nurse entrepreneurs, one of the things that I've always wanted to do was I always wanted to help nurses work from anywhere, pretty much have that flexibility, pretty much have that freedom so that they could do whatever they wanted to do.
Joining VP Nursing was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. If I was to have a regret, it would be that I didn't join sooner.
If they wanted to be with their children, if they wanted to be with their families, they can do exactly what they wanted to do.
Ola is the type of person, she's not going to let you stay the same. The way she levels up her clients in every area of their lives.
I could not have imagined being a nurse with my own business, being in this space with so many amazing people, with a coach that 1,000,000% cares about what my outcome is going to be.
And so here at VP Nursing, we teach nurses how to work from their computers anywhere around the world, making money, owning their own time, building profitable nurse coaching, consulting, and service-based businesses. And so now we're at the beach and we're working at the beach and we're having a great time. We're doing a brand photo shoot. It's an amazing time. So if you want to learn how to work from anywhere around the world, creating that flexibility, creating that freedom for yourself, but monetizing the knowledge that you already have, join us at VP Nursing Business Academy. Hey, so good morning, everybody. So this morning we have the amazing Dr. Elizabeth, okay? So first of all, I need for y'all to like, share, comment, do the things, all the things. So Dr. Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, Dr. Viola, for having me. Yes, everyone, make sure you like, comment, do what you need to do. I am Dr. Elizabeth, also known as Coach Eli. I am a business coach, an epidemiologist, and a professor. So with the business coach, I help create opportunities in the diagnostic lab space. So I help individuals who are looking to start their own lab business, mobile lab, drug testing, DNA, what have you. Immigration consultant help you start. I don't only help you start, I also help you to scale, grow a profitable diagnostic lab business.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think that is such an amazing thing. But this is the thing that kind of surprised me, like when we first started talking. You said that you were from Nigeria, right? So now, what was the moment that you realized the traditional nursing path wasn't for you?
Listen, the moment I realized the traditional nursing wasn't for me, honestly, Dr. Viola, was initially when I came to America, as an immigrant, the first thing the advice people would give you is, oh, you have to become a nurse. So I actually pursued going to nursing school. But unfortunately, I wasn't passing those courses. One of the required courses for nursing was anatomy and physiology. I took this course 3 times, doctor, and I didn't pass. I was failing this class with an F. I kept re-registering. So you know what? I'm like, this is not my path. So I had to immediately transition into public health. So I knew nursing wasn't for me because I couldn't pass those requirements. The core requirements for nursing courses, I couldn't pass it, the major. So I had to transition and transfer my courses into public health.
I love that because, you just didn't give up. But one of the things that I do know about A&P, I had to, when I was going through A&P, because A&P ain't nothing but a lot of memorization, right? Mm-hmm. And so I literally had to take a recorder and I would record the question. I would wait a few minutes and then answer it on the tape. And so then I would go through and memorize all that stuff because it's a lot to memorize. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So I get
you have to understand the human body parts like this. What is this? No, I don't think nursing is for me. So yeah.
I love it. Okay. So now how did your Nigerian background influence your approach to healthcare and entrepreneurship?
So my background as a Nigerian, when you leave your country to come into America, so the real concept is you're looking for what? Greener pastures, right? America has this hope because, Nigeria is still a developing country. America is already developed. You have your healthcare, all of those good stuff. So it developed my path. It's made me realize that, hey, I am all the way from Nigeria. I might as well stay tight because I have come from far and thousands of miles to America to look for greener pastures, to look for a better living, better outcome. So it has influenced me and enabled me to, really put things together quickly to understand and identify what I really need to be doing for myself. So that journey has led me into what I am today. So I am very grateful.
So what were some of the mindset shifts that you had to just really embrace? Because, you came in, they told you to be a nurse, and then you didn't pass A&P. And so some people would say, well, I didn't pass it, I'll just go back to where I came from. And you just didn't do that. You were like, I'm gonna master this, or I'm gonna master this. So do you think your Nigerian background helped you with that? Or do you think it was just something internal? Like,
I'm going to say it's both. I am going to say it's both. I'm a go-getter. My parents, so my dad, he was a teacher and a coach. So he has always instilled education in us. I actually, before I came to America, I went to the College of Education. I used to be a teacher. So I've been wrapped around teaching and education and those alignments. So transitioning to America, I didn't pass A&P. No, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue. So in the continuity of finding my path, like I said, I transitioned into public health and I found my rhythm. Right after college, I relocated to the DC area and I got my first job. I became a case manager and I started helping people, especially the vulnerable population, connecting them to resources. So no, I wouldn't give up. And I'm going to say yes. It's been instilled in me. I'm a go-getter, and that actually led me into coaching others. I'm a consultant. I help individuals to start their diagnostic lab, so I help them. So it's a combination of who I am, a go-getter, and not wanting to give up on anything. So just because I didn't pass anatomy and physiology, I found my path, which is in public health. Today, glory be to God, I'm an epidemiologist and I teach others on what to do and also finding their own way in their space.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So now tell me what were like there's obviously some gaps that you saw that you identified in the lab industry. Like, how did you get there? Right. That others had overlooked.
There is a huge gap. And I'm glad you asked that question. So what is the gap here? Numerous gaps, right? We have a lot of people that would say, hey, come, I can teach you. I can show you how to own your lab, but not necessarily giving you the tools to help you scale or help you succeed.
So what I mean, I hate to cut you off, and not that I'm cutting you off. I just want to go back. So like, how did you even get when you think about starting a lab, right? Like, what made you want to start a lab? Like, out of all the things that you wanted to do, right? What made you want to do that?
I want to own a lab because I don't want to work for anyone else. I personally want to be self-employed and as well as be able to make money on my own terms, right? I don't want to work. I wouldn't want to be on someone else's clock. So what got me into the lab space was lab is a very easy transition. So if you are in the healthcare space, you don't need to go back to school to acquire lots of education and knowledge to start a diagnostic lab. So therefore, immediately, and I was, I have my children and I was looking for something that would allow me to stay home, a job, a career that would allow me to stay home and at the same time be my own boss. So the immediate opportunity that I saw was the diagnostic lab, because all I needed to do is learn a new skill, become a DOT specimen collector, and start this business right away, right? So I was looking for those two, and the lab industry fits in right there. I don't have to go back to school. I can work from anywhere, and I can be my own boss. So
but I love it. So now tell me, what turns you off from working for someone else?
I work for someone else, it's going to be on their terms. It's going to burn me out. I won't be able to live the life that I desire. I won't be able to stay home with my children, right? And I want to stay home. I want to be part of their growing up, right? So, and again, working on someone else's term, clocking in and clocking out, it's not going to give me enough that I need, and as well as the fulfillment. I'm not going to get those things. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well be my own boss. make my own laws, my regulation, my terms, and live my life. I don't want to submit. I don't want to do things that would not give me fulfillment.
I
And
love it.
one of those is working for someone else.
It's interesting that you say that because, of course, we teach nurses to work from anywhere. And one of the things that I've always said is that freedom, right? It's very different. If you just told me, 10 years ago, even that I would be an entrepreneur, I would be like, yeah, you're tripping. I'm good. I'm good clocking in. I'm good clocking out. But I think that one of the things that for me, it was the lack of respect. Like the higher you went, you didn't have as much respect within the field. As long as you were the nurse and as long as you were doing the grunt work, you were good. Right. But then once you got into an office space, it was not as well respected once you got there. And I was like, that's not.
That's not
I love it. So now tell me, how did you build your initial client base? Because you went and you started to coach, right? After you start doing, because that's what you should do. Anyway, however, how did you build your initial client base?
How did I build my initial client base? I started to tell my story. I started to solve problems. I started to leave my comfort zone. A lot of times people don't love to people don't like to be inconvenienced. In order for you to make success, in order for you to be a top leader, especially as a leader, you got to serve and be vulnerable, meaning that you got to leave your comfort space a little bit. That's how success comes. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. You got to be able to take that big leap of faith, the big step to do things that you're not comfortable doing. So that's how I started. I have my own YouTube channel. I started doing, even if there are so many flaws, embrace those flaws and fix those flaws as you recognize them. So I was out there teaching and solving problems, right? Telling people this is how to do it. So sharing my stories, the things that I've gone through that wasn't working, the things that work, I was sharing those things. So that's how I grew my audience. So people were like seeing me and consulting with me. Can I help them with this? So I was the go-to, because I actually left my comfort zone to start to do the things that were not typically traditional.
I love that. I just watched a YouTube video that talked about that because, sometimes you're going to feel comfortable, right? The more that you do it, the more comfortable you feel doing it, right? But at first you're not going to feel comfortable. And when you don't feel comfortable, you just keep moving no matter what. Yesterday I'm thinking about yesterday, I recorded like 31 short videos and like, I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I had other stuff to do. Right. But I needed to do it. And so, on the days in which you have the energy to do the thing, you do the thing. So that on the days when you don't have the energy to do the thing, then you don't have to be on all the time. And that's the value of video. And so I'm glad that you said that, you're on YouTube, right? What's your channel, by the way, so we can follow it? What's the channel?
It's Official Coach Eli. Official Coach Eli. Absolutely.
So go follow Official Coach Eli, okay, on YouTube for sure. Now, what advice would you give to other immigrant healthcare professionals who feel boxed into these traditional roles?
That they don't feel comfortable with their traditional roles?
No, they feel boxed into traditional roles.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be boxed. Immigrants, as a non-immigrant, you should not feel boxed. Now, as an immigrant, you have to remember where you're coming from. You're coming from a very far place. So you have to understand that you don't have an excuse. There is no room for failure for you. You are a role model. The fact that you are in a better space, people are looking up to you. So don't feel boxed. If you need anything, like I said, use my story as a case study, right? Do what you feel like, what you know you should be doing, and I think that's one of the things Dr. Viola teaches you, how you can be your own boss, right? So don't feel boxed. If you're an immigrant, the two things you have to take away is that people are looking up to you, you are a role model, and there are tons of resources here in America. So you got to fit in the space that would not necessarily cage you. You got to leave your cage and do what you need to do.
I love that because you said there's a lot of resources. And I think that that's one of the things that a lot of people just don't really understand, right? Because I always use this reference. When I was growing up, I wanted to have more information. Like I wanted to have all the information, right? And I had to wait until I remember, this man coming around with the Encyclopedia Britannica, right? And he would come around and he would sell the book, and that was how I got the information. Or I would go to school and that was how I got the information. And now it's so readily available. I think that people take it for granted. And so it's really, really hard to, and I think that's one of the things that I want to really, really expound upon, because the information is out there. Like it literally is out there. It's at your feet, and you just have to be very intentional about it. So that's so good. So we're going to run this commercial real quick, and we're going to be right back.
Stop renewing your license just to stay broke. Every renewal season, nurses pay fees, take classes, and check boxes, but never build wealth. That license you're renewing every 2 years, it's a gold mine if you stop using it the old way. At the Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference, you'll learn how to leverage that same license to build your own business, to coach, to consult, and to create offers that bring freedom, not fatigue. And yes, you'll still earn CEUs. Comment conference below and we'll send you the details.
That's right. Go ahead. Comment conference below and we'll send you the details for sure. For sure. I love it. Now, tell me, what are some of the resistance that you faced when you decided to go into entrepreneurship?
What were the resistance? Honestly, the first resistance is fear. What are people going to say? Where am I going to get the knowledge from? How do I start? It's a lot of how. People, even though when they have all of those things in their fingertips, they still feel like they need to ask us how. So those fears are still obstacles, roadblocks. And if you would never get an answer to how, and that's what I always say to people, just start anyway. You don't have to have it all figured out or have everything. Like, just start, because life itself is a learning curve. We learn every day. So there is no way you're not going to learn. So again, it's the fear, it's the reluctancy in what you do, like trying to get all the answers. It's not going to come out one day. You gotta just step out in faith. You just got to do it. So I think it's the fear. And I was once there. Like, it's just that I am like, it's just me, even in my fears, I'm giving myself this, what is it called? This, for lack of a better word, like the solution to lack of the fear. Like, I'm not going to let this fear stop me. So that's my 2 cents. Like, people have this fear. What are people going to say? Like, it's just like, what are they going to say? It's okay. Let them say what they need to say, but you do you and step out in faith.
I love that, because one of the things that I've always said is that other people's opinion of me is none of my business. Number one. The next thing is that we're creating a narrative in our head that hadn't even happened yet. Like, why are we even doing that? Right? It's a whole narrative, and sometimes it doesn't even happen. Now, I had, I remember when I first started, I was at the beach, and because the beach obviously is our thing, right? And so I was at the beach and I was teaching. I was going live, and I said, I'm at the beach. I'm coaching from the beach, and kind of like the video at the beginning. And I remember one of my friends, quote unquote, because people, when you step outside your where you are normally at, where they think you should be, and they come after you a little bit. So she was like, she come onto my video and she was like, you're teaching nurses how to leave the bedside. Well, this is how I looked at that. So if you don't like liver, right? For example, if you don't like liver as a delicacy of food for you, right? I can give it to you all day long. If you don't want to do that, then you're not going to do that.
Absolutely.
However, if you do like it, then at least you've been given the opportunity to have it. But if I never give it to you, then you never have the opportunity to eat the liver, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's all in that. And being very intentional about that is definitely something that we need to do. So I love that. Now, how did you transition from running a successful lab to coaching other people to do that? Like, what? And you said that yours was different. So tell us the difference.
Look, Dr. Viola, I've been in this space for I'm going to say going to 4 years now. And what I've seen in this industry is that it's the typical way of, oh, come here, come and start. People are very good in helping people to start. But are you truly scaling? Are you truly making money? People want, get me to the point, get me to this destination of not being fatigued. I like your word of the word fatigue. I don't want to be fatigued because I want to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean I have to be fatigued, right? Everyone is looking for solution in making money. Get me to my destination. Show me how to make these bags. And that's what I bring to the table. This is what sets me apart in what I do. In this current space, I secured $3.8 billion in contracts and lead testing. And I get to be the only coach, only person that teaches individuals how to make these bags. I recently just concluded my conference, which was my first, which I was giving people the exact blueprint, step-by-steps in scaling. What do you bring to the table? You're teaching people how to start business. Are you really giving them the stuff they need to truly scale? So that's what brings me apart. And that's what I bring to the table. In the industry, I'm solving problems. I've been able to teach them how to make great connection, how to really run an operable business. It's one thing for you to have a business, and it's another thing for you to truly be making money out of the business. So what I teach, my coaching is so strategic, it's evidence-based, solution-driven, because I also own the business. So what works, I teach them. And I tell them, learn from my mistakes. Don't go this route because you're not going to get anything out of this. So that's what I do.
I love it. And that is so true, because and one of the things that I like too is when you're, truly transparent about, kind of what how the business is going, that can help them as well, because why would you go the route by yourself? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense at all, because you're gonna, like, there were so many loopholes or so many, things that I knew that I was gonna fall in those cracks if I didn't have a coach. So I believe a coach always needs a coach. I'm just that girl. And so, I will always have a coach. I believe that in order for me to level up, I need to be able to have the integrity to level up myself all the time so that I can teach my clients how to level up. Now, what misconceptions do people have about starting a healthcare business, you think?
Misconception could be so many misconceptions out there, but honestly, anyone can do it. The misconception is that, can I really do it? A lot of times people don't really believe in themselves. They don't know that they can actually do it, especially in healthcare business. We are nurses, CNAs, LPNs. We do these jobs anyway. This is what we do on a typical day-to-day. Y'all clock in 9 to 5. You already know what to do. A code blue. You know what a code blue is? You know what to do when you need to suction. You know what to do if someone is having a high temperature, high fever. You know all those things. You're already doing these things in your typical day anyway. So why do you think you're going to fail at your business? So the misconception is that, can I do it? The fact is that you can do it because you're already doing it. You're licensed to do it. You passed your examination. You passed your board exam, so you can do it.
That's right.
And if you need, and the beautiful thing with healthcare system is that, and healthcare business is that, if you don't even have those qualifications, you can collaborate. The space leaves rooms for collaboration. If you need a medical doctor to be on your team, you can collaborate. So we have all those. Like, you can truly own a successful healthcare business. If you want to own a hospital today, you can. Whatever. There are so many healthcare ventures that you can venture into. There are so many healthcare business that you can do. Find your niche, find your passion, find your rhythm, and work with others. Like Dr. Vala is saying, you need a coach, someone to teach you, to hold your hands. Who teaches you something the best? Someone that has walked that path, that would give you those solutions. You don't have to make errors. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Dr. Vala has done it. She's going to give you the step by step. You know what I mean? So yeah, we can do it. Y'all can do it. If you don't have the licensure, you can get someone. You can collaborate. Healthcare space allows those collaboration.
I love it. And one of the things that I look back at this one guy, and he was like, dude, he may have had a college degree. I'm not sure, but he wasn't a nurse, right? He wasn't anything in healthcare. And he owned a successful med spa, because you don't have, and like, I look back at like some of the people that when I worked in corporate, there was this guy who owned a home healthcare agency. He was a lawyer, right? You don't have to know the thing. You just need to know how to run the business.
Absolutely.
And, and that mindset is 80% of it. Skill set is 20% of it. You can get somebody to do the 20% of it, and you need to hire somebody that's smarter than you anyway, because at the end of the day, you need to make sure that the things are getting done. Like I tell my people all the time, I'm like we were talking about Facebook ads or something. I've got a Facebook ads coach, and I said, and they were like, well, we're going to send it over to you. No, you send it over to him. He knows what to do with it. I mean, I have a good enough knowledge, but he knows more, because you want to hire the best people that know and treat them well, right? And that's the key to your success, being the CEO. So I love that. Now, tell me, what are some of the skills from your nursing background that proved to be unexpectedly invaluable in entrepreneurship?
Your skills as a nursing that is invaluable is definitely what you know how to do. I can tell you this. When I was at the conference, we had a conference, right? We just concluded this like last month. And there was this nurse in the room. She gets to answer all of the questions. I was asking questions. What do we know this? What do you know this? So a lot of times nurses knows a lot. Nurses knows a lot, and I don't even know. I know you know this. And that's why a nurse practitioner can actually be a provider, because of what's the extent of an amount of what they know. So I would say my answer to that question would be, it's the knowledge, because a lot of nurses, when you hear them, oh, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've been doing this for over 30 years. It's just those big numbers. So I feel like they have a lot to offer. They have a lot. You may not know it, but when the reality truly comes in, a nurse can quickly interject and say, oh, this is how, because of the length of experience they've had. Some have been nurses since when they left high school. From high school, they went into CNA. That's how you climb the ladder, the career ladder. A lot of us, we start being a CNA. From being CNA, you want to transition to LPN. You want to then continue to climb the ladder. So they know a lot. They do truly know a lot for those as a nurse. That's what I'm going to answer that question.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that was invaluable for me, because when we're in the emergency department, one of the things that, we always had to be attuned to the numbers, right? The no left without being seen, the door to triage and all those. And so those numbers are important in business as well. And so that is one of the things that I didn't even think that would be as valuable, but, of course, it's invaluable, because you need to know what your numbers are, for sure. So we have some rapid fire questions. So what has been one of the most rewarding things about being an entrepreneur? I think you probably answered that.
Do you want me to answer that again? Honestly, most rewarding thing being an entrepreneur is that you are solving problems and you're contributing to the economy of your community.
That's good.
Contributing to the economy of it. I'm telling you, even if it's as little as you giving someone a drug test, it's for pre-employment reasons, right? When people get drug tested, when people are getting background screening, what have you, they want to get a job. They want to move on with their life to the next level of their life. And you are the only available business they can call and say, hey, can I walk in for this? Can I get this thing done? Oh, my doctor just gave me a prescription to draw my blood. You was part of those solutions. You are helping with that care, right? Because without a blood draw, without a lab, a doctor can't really treat you. We got to diagnose you with some sort of lab report, and you are part of that. You're contributing to this. So yes, being an entrepreneur, you are helping and bringing smiles on people's faces. It's really rewarding, and I think a lot of people don't know that. I know there is a financial reward. You get your money, you make money. You're doing all that, but also just giving back to people in your little way.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So now, what are you reading now? Like, what book are you reading now?
What book am I reading? Nursery rhymes, because I have little ones. I don't have a book in particular, but I'm reading storybooks with my babies at home.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. She said nursery rhymes. Listen, this is where I am in life. Okay. All right. So what are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned in business?
Oh my gosh. For me, honestly, I'm going to be honest with this. I am a solo person. I don't really like to do business with people. That's the lesson for me. And I've always learned that if you need, like we're giving the example of you saying there is this guy that owns the home care, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't, it's not, is the lawyer but owns the home care. You can honestly start a business without you even having all of those. I think it's the 80-20 rule. 80% and the 20% is the skill set you say, and 80%. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've learned. So yeah, we can do business. We don't have to really feel like we have to be the one to oversee everything. You can designate, you can delegate. Delegation is one thing as well. So yeah,
I love it. Now, who is a leader, living or dead, that you would like to have a conversation with?
A living leader will be Barack Obama.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Now, what's your favorite movie?
Coming to America.
Okay, all right. I would say that. Now, how would you define success?
Success is going to be self-fulfillment. Success is not necessarily the money. Some people, honestly, some culture, they don't have all these riches, but they look good. They're content. I think success is self-fulfillment. Are you happy with what you're doing? Are you boxed right now? Are you in a cage? Are you burned out? Are you working on someone else's clock? Like, those are the measures of success.
I love it. So where can the people find you?
Look, y'all, you can find me on Facebook. My Facebook handle will be somewhere on your screen, Dr. Elizabeth Akin. You can find me on social media. You can follow me on YouTube. That's how you can find me. I think we're going to leave all that information on the screen in the description box as well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So again, everybody, y'all need to like, share, comment, join us for the conference. Go follow Dr. Elizabeth. Y'all just have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right.